This guy.
Hey guys, I got an exciting memory to share with you and a little bit of home movies from 1993, around 1993, 1994. So growing up, I always wanted to be a meteorologist, a weatherman. And I wanted to be a weatherman on TV. I always thought that would be a really exciting career to get into. So naturally, I had a favorite weather person on TV. And for me, it was, actually I had two. Steve Raleigh and Janice Huff from KRON 4 News were my favorite weather people. And I was really passionate about the career, about the idea of becoming a weather person. So my parents decided to do something really special for me. Find a way for me to be able to meet Janice Huff and, watch a weather person do their segment behind the scenes. So my parents contacted KRON 4, got in touch with Janice Huff, and arranged for me to come in and meet her and watch her do a weather segment and, get a tour of the newsroom. So got that appointment set up and we got in the car and my parents drove me down there. And I remember it was unusually hot that day in San Francisco. So I was about to witness an unusual weather segment. So we get to the KRON 4 building in San Francisco and we check in with security in the lobby and he takes us upstairs. There we are in the newsroom. I was just overwhelmed with awe, seeing all the cameras, all the lights, all the cables going everywhere, and it was really cool. I'd never seen anything like that in person before. And very quickly we were greeted by Janice Huff herself. So she brings us into her office. I snapped a picture. I brought a little handheld camera and a still camera, and I was snapping pictures. I took a picture of her office, and you can see she's holding a printout here, which I presume is a printout of her weather segment that she's, was going to be doing very shortly. Ah yes, those good old dot matrix printers. I'll never forget those. She sat us down and we just kind of chit-chat for a little while, and I told her that I really looked up to her and, wanted to get into the same career. Because I did, I really looked up to her. I always thought she had the perfect personality for what she did. And actually she, as far as I know, still does the weather. She's on the East Coast now. Always really liked her style. So she gave me some pointers about how to get into the industry and, what to do, and gave me a lot of encouragement and inspiration to get into the same career. So then it was time for the news. You can see all these robotic cameras in the studio. So we get to watch the technician, do his thing and make sure all the cameras were operating as they should, and just kind of oversee the whole operation. And we sat right next to the green screen where the weather anchor usually does the weather. That's Evan White, and then Suzanne Shaw. And now the news segment begins, and you can hear Suzanne talk about how hot the weather is.
The air today is not only hot, it's downright unhealthy.
Some help in fighting back against the very busy bicycle thieves.
And what's hot and what's not about the last action hero.
This is News Center 4 at 5, your 24-hour news service.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Suzanne Shaw. Emerald Yang has the night off.
And I'm Evan White. Welcome to an hour-long edition tonight of News Center 4 at 5. And for many, this has been yet another glorious day around the bay. But the hot weather also brings...
And that's the blue screen that the meteorologist stands in front of. Nowadays, I think it's mostly green screens. That to the left of the blue screen is the monitor that the weather anchor looks into, so that they know where to point on the blue screen or green screen. And here's a better view of the news anchors.
But they're looking beyond this first hot spell. Tom DeVries has lighted up in the floor for us. Tom?
And you can't really see it very well here, but there's Janice Huff on the screen doing her preliminary weather report. So what made this unusual is that she decided to do the weather segment from the roof, from on top of the KRON 4 building. And pretty soon I was going to be joining her up there.
Today was 102 in Livermore, over 100 in Toronto.
Hey, Mike.
San Francisco Zoo had the right idea. Just stay in the pool all day. That's, of course, if you have a pool.
And here we are on the roof.
Onshore flow, and that's why this cooling trend will keep on through the weekend. Current temperatures around the Bay Area are still quite warm, although near the Bay and the coast are a little cooler. San Francisco right now at 79, Oakland at 78, Concord though still at 99. They were over 100 today, 88 right now in San Rafael. Whoa, the fog came on up the coast, didn't it? It's already at the Golden Gate and will continue moving north later on tonight. This cooling trend will continue to take place going into the weekend. Tomorrow's highs will reflect that. 78 in San Francisco and Oakland, 92 in Raleigh, low 100-degree temperatures expected tomorrow, and 88 in San Jose. If you are traveling across the country, thunderstorms in Chicago, a high of 71. A chance for a thunder shower in New York, hot and muggy, 90, 93 in Washington, D.C., Dallas, 85, 107 for Phoenix. Tomorrow afternoon, lots of sunshine. Guess what? Lots of tropical weather to talk about. You got plans to go to Rooftop or actually, have a great weekend.
So after she finished up her weather report, we headed back downstairs into the newsroom. By that time, they had ended the news hour and they were in the process of switching the anchors. The late Pete Wilson was now behind the news desk. And it's funny, so I had my little handheld camera that I brought with me. Janice noticed that he was wearing shorts, but from the waist up, wearing the suit that news anchors usually wear, and then he was, below the waist, he was wearing shorts. So it's funny because you don't see that. So Janice thought it would be funny to take a picture of him. So she said, "Hey, can I borrow your camera?" So Janice took my little handheld still camera and snapped this picture right here of the late Pete Wilson sitting behind the desk with his shorts on this hot day. And then it was time to go. So as we were leaving, my parents took a picture of me standing with Janice Huff. So it was really fun getting to see the behind the scenes there in their studio and see how it's done. And it was further inspiration to me. I did not actually end up getting into meteorology as a career. I've kept it as a hobby, but not as a career. Just ended up going a different path. But I came very close. I even pursued it in college. But that's okay. I still have meteorology as an interest, a lifelong interest, and a hobby. So I do weather photography and video time lapses. Well, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that fun little memory that I shared in the home video. All right, until next time.